is college basketball season. It's moving towards college basketball season. This is a tradition unlike any other. If you ever watch Tuesday night college basketball, particularly with me, Tarika, our director, Scott Johnson, our producer, Bart Fox, you understood that it was the greatest production of college basketball ever. Best announcers, best tech team ever. And I would put up the DD Big Ten Index, and everybody would lose their mind. Everybody would go cray-cray. I mean cray-cray, because I didn't do it normal. Why would I ever do anything normal? I didn't do it normal. I went by how are you playing? How are you playing? Now, I also give a little bit of credence to how you have played, but mostly how you play. So the DD Big Ten Index became arguably the most polarizing thing on ESPN. I mean, people are killing me. They're destroying me. They're punching me in the face. They're wanting to, because I didn't have their team in the top 5. So here's what I do. I keep doing it. Who the hell in the Big Ten is going to intimidate me? All right. I don't know whether we're going from bottom from top or top to bottom. But the number one team in the Big Ten right now is Purdue. Don't at me, people. Don't at me. I know they lost to Rutgers. So what? Last undefeated team, 1976. Seriously. Don't even give me your crap. Best team in the Big Ten is Purdue. Purdue bounced back. They were down. They went to North Carolina State. Big crowd. People actually cared in Raleigh for once. And Purdue came back from a deficit and won. Purdue's best team in the Big Ten. Don't at me about it. They got 2 of everything. My friend, the great Seth Greenberg, calls them the Noah's Ark of basketball. Get it? 2 of everything. I wish Noah wouldn't have put mosquitoes on that frickin' ark. Why we got to have mosquitoes on that ark? I don't want mosquitoes. What the hell are mosquitoes doing on an ark? If you didn't put 2 mosquitoes on an ark, guess what? We wouldn't be itching all summer long, particularly me. I live kind of in the woods. It's Bolshevik. Number 2, the Ohio State University. Ohio State has beaten Duke, and every year except for the one where Krzyzewski quit on his team, had a back injury, and then blamed it all on Pete Gaudette, but I digress. They beat Duke, and then they bounced back and really whooped up on a Wisconsin team that's pretty good. Very unathletic, but pretty good. So anyway, I like Chris Holtmann. I'll take a bullet for Chris Holtmann. What Chris Holtmann did for my family is second to none. So I take a bullet for Chris Holtmann. I don't take a bullet for many people. I take a bullet for all my kids. I'm starting to think I should take a bullet for Stephanie, Lauren, Jesse, and Donnie, because of how much they helped me with this. I got a bit of a cold all of a sudden. I'm verklempt. But anyway, I'd take a bullet for Chris Holtmann, how great he was to my family. But they're playing the second best, and they have a kid named E.J. Liddell. As you're getting ready to watch college basketball, know the name E.J. Liddell. And when he posts up in the middle of the lane, E.J. Liddell is a mother. I mean a mother. Now, he ain't a mother like the big dude, Zach Edey at Purdue. Zach Edey at Purdue is 7'5". True story. He grew. He's 7'5". 200 and however many pounds you want. 90, 300, I don't know. You got some big cats in the Big Ten. E.J. Liddell and Zeb Key for Ohio State, fantastic. And Chris Holtmann puts their big ass right in the middle of the block. Is this too technical basketball for you? If it is, let me know. The third best team is Sparty. Michigan State. I know they lost early in the year in the Champions Classic, but I don't care. Sparty has bounced back, and bounced back. They went up to Minnesota and beat the living hell out of the Gophers. Now, is that a great thing? I think it is, because the Gophers are my next team. They're number 4. Why? Because the Gophers have 1 loss to Sparty. They bounced back, went to Michigan, and beat the living hazel out of Michigan, Juwan Howard and the fellas. I mean, beat them like a... Never mind. I'm not in love with Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota's great. I don't think Minnesota's even interesting. I don't think Minnesota's ever been interesting. The only thing interesting about Minnesota basketball is about 50 years ago, they had a big fight where 3 guys jumped Luke Whitty on the court, including the great Dave Winfield, and beat the living hell out of him. The next most interesting thing is when Clem Haskins took him to the Final Four, but they had to say nay because Clem the Gem was cheating Clem the Gem's ass off. Nothing ever interesting with Minnesota. I assume Minnesota won't be back in these ratings. I don't see how there's any way. Ben Johnson's a nice guy, and I'm sure he's a good coach, but these other teams will jump up, so let's make Minnesota number 4. Why not? I'm going back to Sparty. Sparty's good. Sparty real good. You know that Sparty, they real good. Sparty's good. They have a fan base that I don't even know. Do they have entrance requirements at Michigan State based on their fan base? I mean, it's the most vile, vicious, ridiculous, idiotic, stupid fan base in the country. But I love Izzo. I love their culture. I love the way they play. And after losing one early, they just bounced back and started whooping everybody's ass, typical of a Tom Izzo team. And you know what? They'll get better. Point guard play getting better. Big guys are seemingly, we're rotating guys in. Don't worry about it. Sparty be just fine. They're 3rd, 4th is Minnesota. The fifth one to be determined. Wisconsin, I liked them. Came back from 22 to beat Indiana. But then they went on the road and got the living hell beat out of them. Johnny Davis is a stud, probably a lottery pick. But I don't trust him. Indiana's whooped up on bad teams, and then when they've played good teams, they've gotten beat, whether it's a bad first half against Syracuse, a bad second half against Wisconsin. I mean, you're up 20. Michigan's been the most disappointing, yet somewhat surprising team. How's that possible? Disappointing to the national media. Not surprising to me. They had a kid last year named Mike Smith. Mike Smith came as a transfer from like Yale or Dartmouth. I can't remember. Maybe Columbia. I think it was Columbia. Led the Ivy League in scoring, which is like saying you're the most handsome man at the Dakich family reunion. But Mike Smith came over, was a total team guy. Now they got some dude named Jones. He's screwing the team up. The whole team looks out of sorts at different times. We'll see what happens. They made a ton of threes to beat Nebraska. We'll see what happens. Be careful, athletic directors. Be careful before you give all these guys from the NBA these monster contracts after 1 or 2 years. See how they build a team. See how they build a team before you jump up and down, stand on your head, and crap snowballs. True. We get so excited. Oh, we got Juwan Howard back. Oh, my God. This is the greatest. He won the Big Ten, which is a hell of an accomplishment. And you should get an extension when you win the Big Ten. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I'm just telling you. Don't be surprised if this thing falls off, because 2 things. You don't have, I think, John Beilein was the best evaluator in college basketball. I do. I think he evaluated talent better than anybody. And the second thing is there was a discipline and a structure and an order. Not saying Juwan Howard doesn't have that. Not saying at all. But John Beilein did it at an elite level. And we'll see whether Howard can. That eventually wears off. When Bob Knight, I go back to this, left Indiana, man, Mike Davis took over and they were good. Everybody liked playing for the players, coach. Everybody liked it. And next thing you know what the hell happened? Be careful. Be very careful.